Good people. Welcome back to the Hospitality Hacks Pro Show. I am your hostess with the mostest, Tasha Jackson, restaurant consultant, teacher, friend, sister, daughter, all the things. All right, whatever you need. What do you need? I'm here for you. On the show, we talk about things in and around culinary arts and hospitality, important topics, things that are on my mind, things that you ask questions about. We also talk to interesting people in and around the industry. Today, what's on my mind, folks, is this. Been doing just a little bit of traveling here and there. And I've been getting in quite a few ride share um entanglements. so so in the past, I'll just say this. In the past, I would only use Lyft. And then I kind of started branching out using Uber. Multiple reasons, people say Lyft drivers are friendlier. The rates are a little bit better. And that find out that really just depends, right? But I was using Lyft primarily, and then I started saying to myself, let's just give Uber a shot, right? So I typically am a like rage against the machine, slightly militant person. So when people are like, "Oh, Lyft is an underdog," well, I'm going with the underdog. But I started giving Uber a try, and now I kind of use both. I mean, Lyft gives me some um if you're not familiar with the rideshare apps, Lyft, Lyft, you use the app on your phone when you need to get somewhere. Instead of using a cab, you would just use a regular person who's sharing their vehicle with you to take you somewhere, right? Um, and Uber was first, but not the it. I think they had so much of a head start. They're still kind of a dominating force, but they've got some competition out here now, right? And so bringing that all up because I was thinking when I was out of town this last time that it's just so interesting the difference in service, right? And we talk about hospitality. So if I order a Uber premium SUV or premium XL, I'd have to look at if you order the XL premium, I believe I'm saying it right, the right choice. It's usually some type of suburban vehicle, nicer vehicle, right? So it's interesting that I would notice that some of the drivers are just super accommodating, like they'll get out of the car, open the door for you. If you have multiple passengers, they're gonna pull the seat up for you. If you have bags and you're going to or from the airport, they're gonna grab your bags, put them in the trunk. Like it's just this premium white glove service, right? And even when I don't order premium or black service, and it's just a regular ride share, Uber X or it's a regular Lyft. It's interesting how some of those drivers still go above and beyond, and then some choose not to. And it's just super interesting to me because, and y'all tell me in the comments, do you tip when you use rideshare or a cab or a taxi? Do you tip? If you do tip, what is the percentage of gratuity that you leave? I'm curious. I'm curious to know. And I'll say this, I'm be honest and transparent here, guys. I only tip when I feel like the driver went above and beyond. If you just pull up and crack the window, and you're like, "Hey, are you Tasha?" And I'm like, "Yep, I'm Tasha." And you're like, "Come on, get in." I'm not tipping. Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, y'all tell me I'm wrong. I don't. But I do tip if you get out, you open the door, you not only just confirm who I am, but ask if is there anything I need? How's the temperature in the car? When you do those extra things, I give extra. That's how I look at a rideshare situation. Um, y'all tell me, am I wrong? Is it the same as not tipping your server? I don't know. I feel like I did rideshare for a little bit as a driver, and you get paid more per You get paid a higher percentage per transaction than a server does per hour from the job. So not including tips, if that makes sense. So when I think about a server, and this is specific to the Southeast region, that's no the only that's the places where I spent the majority of my hospitality career, right? But a server makes $2 at present, $2.13 per hour. And so it's up to the server within that hour to make the best impression on their multiple tables. Hopefully, they have multiple tables. Make the best impression, give the best service they can in order for that table to tip them on. And when I say on, that means depending on how much you spend, that's the percentage of tip that you leave. People tip anywhere from 10 to 20%. It just depends. And you can really rack up some good money as a server. Now, when I think about the rideshare driver, they're not as dependent on a tip as a server. That's the way I look at it. So, and y'all pardon me, I am fighting some type of bug. So please forgive me as I gather myself. But yeah, I don't know. Y'all tell me. So I was really just thinking about, and the multiple rides had me really thinking about the levels of service. It's not that hard to do a little extra. It's really not. And this applies to rideshare, this applies to serving, this applies to most things in hospitality. It's really not that difficult to go be above average. But for some reason, a good majority of people are content just kind of doing the bare minimum. But then they wonder, I'm not going to get on my soapbox, I promise. But then they wonder why their compensation is average. All right. So your compensation is directly related to the effort that you're exerting. Just point blank period, no matter what you're doing. All right. And so yeah, it just got me to thinking about that. Like just those little things count so much. The little things count. The smile, if you open the door, how you greet me. Do you say my name? Do you ask me, am I okay with the temperature? Do you have all the windows rolled down and then don't care uh, whether I'm comfortable or not? Or do you make adjustments? I know during the pandemic and directly after, it was a requirement. Like they'll say it in the app, like, hey, your driver's gonna have the window down, so get with it. Like, get with the program, be aware. But at the point we're at now, I think it's optional, right? It's optional. So let's have a conversation. And I'm cold natured. Like, I, I'm always cold. So you notice I mentioned temperature about 2 or 3 times because it makes a big difference for me. But y'all let me know in the comments if you're a rideshare, if you frequent rideshare apps, um, how do you tip? If you tip, when do you tip? Do you look at it the same as the bellman at a hotel or a server at a restaurant, or another, your nail tech who does your mani pedi? Do you put them in that same category? Or do you feel like, yo, the fee is the fee, they get their cut, whatever else is between them and the company? Right. I'm super curious to know. So and real quick, y'all, tomorrow's my birthday. So here's what I need. If you would like to wish me a happy birthday, make sure you subscribe to the podcast. That's all the happy birthday I need. Subscribe to the podcast. And tell a friend who's in or around the culinary arts and hospitality industry to come on over, take a listen, and subscribe as well. Um, and that would be absolutely fantastic. So I'm looking for y'all feedback. Yeah, we might do a part 2 on this if it gets interesting. But uh, you know, to my people in the profession, yo, let's go above and beyond. Let's be above average in everything we do and how we move, how we speak. our facial expression, our body language, every little bit counts when it comes to putting money in your pocket, when it comes to adding money to the bottom line. Every little thing counts. I promise you. If somebody asks for something and you tell them no, you don't try to accommodate, or even if it's unspoken. If somebody doesn't outright ask for something, but they insinuate, or you see there's a need, you see there is a need or could potentially be a need, but you don't address it. Like, come on, folks. It's easy to get 5 stars. It's easy. You just have to focus on it. You have to understand cues and just drill down on that thing. And so, um, let me know your thoughts. Uber versus Lyft. That's another question. Do you have a preference? There's other ones out there too, depending on where you live. Let me know about them. Those are only two that I use. Only two rideshare apps that I use. But let me know what else is out there. What else is out there that you utilize? Um, and yo, I'm signing off. I need to go doctor on myself. Try to get myself together. Drink some more water. Best thing for you. Ugh. Yeah, make sure you drink your water all day, every day. Shameless plug, not an affiliate, but this Hydra Peak cup. Oh boy. Let me tell y'all something. This thing will be cold for like 36 hours. For real. You put a nice bit of ice and some water. I sit it right next to my bed. I like to have water right next to me in the middle of the night in case I get thirsty, or when I wake up in the morning, I'm having water. I try to drink as much as possible. So I always try to have some close. And this thing is going to go. Okay. It's going to be cold at least a day and a half. Like, so listen, they not paying me, but if you're looking for a cup, try it out. Try it out. All right. So y'all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of the day or night, depending on when you're listening or watching. Again, make sure you subscribe. If you have some questions, comments, or concerns, topics you think we should talk about, let me know. All right. Topic this week is really posing a question to you all, audience. I'm curious. Give me some feedback. It's not a one-sided thing over here. I want to hear from y'all. Do you use rideshare? Number one. All right. Some people are still like adamant, like, nope, not doing it. Heard too many horror stories. And they'll stick with a cab, taxi, or phone a friend. Hey, phone a friend, right? But do you use rideshare? And if so, do you have a preference of which one you prefer? And do you tip? Do you tip the driver? If you do tip the driver, is there a certain percentage? Is it based on how you feel? Is it, what is it? What is it? All right. If you don't tip, why not? Like, what makes the driver different from your nail tech, your server, your bartender, right? The bellman at the hotel, concierge, or whoever you tip, whoever you deem, right? Um, as needing or being appropriate of receiving a tip. What makes the rideshare driver different? Super curious. I'm super curious. So y'all let me know. Fire off, and I will talk to y'all next time. Thank you for listening to the Hospitality Hacks Pro Show.